Hey, welcome to episode number 6 of the On Studio Sessions podcast. This week I have Mr. Eoin Mullins from Dumore joining me. So I'm going to get straight into it, as always. Thanks again for the support. Thanks for liking and sharing and watching and listening and all that stuff. Keep it up, please. But back to the situation at hand. Eoin, how are you doing?
Hello, Oni Pony. Are you well?
Oni Pony Ella.
Great to have two Onis in the same room.
Yeah, it's
kind of.
It's both. What's the word? What's the phrase?
Yeah.
What is it?
You should have wrote it down in your script.
I can't remember. I don't use no script. Don't use scripts on this show. We're too good for them.
Yes. Well, when's your birthday?
My birthday is the 19th
Of what?
of February.
February. Fine then. You're not Sagittarius. If we were both Owen and both Sagittarius,
That would be something. I just realized that we actually didn't plan this conversation at all. I have no bullet points done up.
We've been viewers at home. We've been sitting in pure silence, just staring at each other for the last 15 minutes.
Oh, why did I do that? Oh well, we've started now, so we might as well keep going. Oh, and how's things with you?
Grand, Oni. I'm keeping busy. Do you know, I'm fortunately what they call essential, apparently, for the first.
Yes, because you're in
my life essential.
You're in Spar or Centra or wherever you are.
I'm in a Euros. Yeah, I'm working away and doing college bits, and in between trying to do a bit of live streaming.
Yeah, the live streams are going well for you.
They are, yeah. I'm kind of, the weather was a blessing. I was able to do a bit of outdoor work. Change scenery, like everybody and their uncles doing live streams on Facebook at the moment. It's all is either a COVID-19 warning post.
I know,
or
it's kind of sickening. Like, you get sick of looking at them.
I know. Live streams or COVID-19 reports? Both.
You take your pick. I've no idea what I want to talk to you about, really, because I didn't plan anything out. But I suppose we'll go back to the start. Like I say to everybody that I talk to, and I say the same thing every week. I'm kind of getting sick of saying the same thing. But let's go back to the very start. Let's talk about Eoin in school and music for you. Okay, I'm going to try and move away from the typical format that I use all the time. So, when did you get into music? How did you get into music?
How did I get into music? I suppose my earliest would be, primary school choir, like church choir, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I went to school in Dumore. I went to primary school in Dumore. It was a mixed primary school, and I was the only boy in the desk camps in the harmony because I don't think my voice dropped till I was.
You was the only boy in the village. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was my first introduction to kind of, how would you call it, formal musical societies or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing the likes of stage left or things that my little siblings are doing now, like in primary school. Sure, we were out in the sticks and Dumore. We didn't know about anything going on in the big city.
And were you, sorry now, did I interrupt you now?
Yeah.
No. Did I? Sorry. Can you hear me first of all and see me and all that? You can.
You're loud and clear. Your dulcet tone.
Was it always kind of musical theatre for you for a long time, and then you kind of got more into music as such, or was it?
Not really. Like, as I say again, it was the only music I did up until the age of 12 was choir.
Okay.
And my biggest highlight in my musical career before the age of 12 was when we got the green flag in the primary school. And Leo Moran came down to Dunmore National School, and I sang to win just once at him. Not for him, at him.
I wonder, does he remember that?
Yeah. But then how could I forget Leo? But then I made the decision to come into Jarlath's. And I didn't come in specifically for the opera or football or anything like that, you know, like typical things that people might choose to come to Jarlath's for.
Yeah.
I remember specifically the moment I decided to do my first musical. I was sitting in Mr. Blake's business class in first year, and I heard Connie come over the announcement or over the intercom announcing the auditions for Oliver, which was my first show I ever did. It was the 2012 Jarlath's.
That's right.
And that was my first introduction to, you know, the old stock, Alan Kelly, yourself.
That was
them boys.
That was it. That was the start of it then.
That
was the only musical I did in Jarlath's. I actually took part in, and the rest were I did all the tech stuff. Well, not all. I didn't do all the tech stuff, but I did tech stuff for the rest of the shows for the remainder of my time in St. Jarlath's.
Yeah.
So we're in secondary school now.
We're in secondary school now because I did feck all before then.
Okay, we're moving very quickly. So we're in secondary school now. Deadly. So what, like, had you started writing music at this point?
Well, the writing music and stuff, I hadn't really shown an interest in the whole making my own music or anything like that. I'm kind of the person who I'm the kind of person who just rolls with the punches and sees where the wind takes me. I got my first guitar. I think that's the kind of first step in the direction towards making my own stuff. I got my first guitar for, I think I was in second year, I think.
Yeah.
And I got it for Christmas in second year. And picked it up, tried to play it, and put it down for a year and a half because I was annoyed that I couldn't play it straight away.
That's like me. I got my first guitar when I was 7, and I picked it up and tried to play it and put it down, and I didn't pick it up again until I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Then I started playing guitar.
That's exact same age for me. Like I got mine when I was 14, put it down, started it again when I was 15.
Yeah.
Junior Sir. I did I play it for my Junior Sir practical? I don't know. Is there a Junior Sir practical in music? I can't remember. 6 years ago now.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I got my first guitar when I was 14, started playing when I was 15, and first song I ever wrote was a song called Hide. And it's probably my longest standing. It's the one I always go to.
Fan favorite.
Yeah. What fans? Dude, where? Show them to me.
Oh, there's fans. Don't worry. There's always fans somewhere. You're going to play that for us later as well, I believe.
I will, of course. I have to.
So I've been told. So you got your first guitar. Do you play any other instruments other than guitar?
Do I play any other instruments? Other than the Fado Shlán.
That was bet into us in primary school.
But I can give you a mean rendition of the Fields, Vats and Rye.
And the tin whistle. Nice one.
No, I never learned. I know you're gifted. You've got your piano, you've got your bass, you've got your guitar, and your mandolin and all that.
Yeah, no. All those instruments now have just become like a need to play, like, you know, on a need to play basis. You know, if I'm recording something, I'll play them. But
if you think back to our days in music class, like I know we split up. Were you in my music class pre-junior cert?
Probably.
Yeah, because you did 2I, I didn't do 2I.
Yeah.
So we got split up then, and I got thrown into the messers with the likes of Iarla Murphy and Oisin Rogers and Luke Roach and Lou Farrell, of course.
Yes. I love how Luke Farrell is in the messers list. Shout out to you, Luke.
He's the biggest messer.
Luke is in college with me, actually. No, he's doing the same course as me. So shout out to
Yeah,
you, Luke. Yeah, hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, he's doing the same course as me.
an absolute legend of a man.
He's a cool dude. Yeah.
Haven't seen him in yonks. But yeah, there was a tangent there. Were we on it?
What were you talking about? You were talking about your class, just your music class.
Yeah. I was saying how if you think back to us in music class, I just have distinct memories of you with your brown bass.
That's still there. Yeah.
I remember. Speaking of getting my guitar, when I got my guitar, me and you actually, I'm going on 7 different tangents. Me and you came like
good, though.
second or third in the tune busking festival.
Oh my God, Owen.
Us with the fetus Brendan Murray.
Oh my God.
Outside the side of the thing.
Outside the shopping centre.
And we busked outside the shopping centre, outside of Bourne or something.
Oh man, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
When was that?
It was before you got your new guitar, or a new guitar at that point. And I remember your mammy came up to me because my guitar was there, and your mammy came up to me and she was like, "Well, what guitar is that?" Because she was scoping it out. I knew that you were going to be getting a new guitar soon, and she was trying to figure out what to get. But I think you ended up getting like a Martin or something. I was like, Jesus.
Oh, no, didn't get a Martin. I won't be getting a Martin for a long time. I got a lag. That was when I got my lag.
Yeah. Something nicer than mine.
Oh, I completely forgot about that whole competition thing. That's just, oh my God, Jesus.
Yeah, I'll find that photo and I'll send it to you, and you can stick it up there.
Yeah, stick it up. Yeah. Please do. Yeah, that'd be class.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like. You have an awful arsenal of instruments under you.
Yeah, I've a heap of them. I've a heap of them here that aren't being played as well. They're just left around, but. Yeah, all in due course. It's handy though, because when someone comes in like yourself now, if you were to come in and you wanted to record something and you didn't play the instrument, it's so handy.
Yeah.
Or to even have the instrument there that you can mess around on,
Yeah, or even like we were messing around with the idea of gigging together before all this happened.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a struggle to figure out what were you going to play.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
Want percussion from Owen on this, or do we want bass from Owen on this, or one on this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll sing.
We got that bit covered anyway.
Yeah.
Talk to me about college. What are you at in college, or what are you doing?
What am I at in college? I am. Well, I'm studying. First of all, I'm studying. I'm doing an arts degree. I'm studying English and politics.
Oh, very good. Yourself and Michael Collins there in the background.
That's it. Me and Mickey. My core heritage.
That's
I don't
patriotism
have.
Right there. So you're doing arts. Okay, cool.
Arts, yeah. But if you ask my mother, I'm doing a degree in gums with a side of arts.
Tell me about gums and tell me about all that stuff, because there's people listening now who don't know what that stuff is. So tell me about that whole other side of the earth.
Yes. So gums is Galway University Musical Society. It's the musical society inside in the university. And my first interaction with them was when we were doing the operas in Jarlath's, and Gums would send down 2 representatives to every show in the Galway region.
Yeah.
And they'd adjudicate the show, they'd judge the show, and then at the end of the year there'd be a big Gums Awards.
Yeah.
And all the schools around Galway, kind of Calsanctius, the Bish, Jarlath's, and whoever, they know who they are.
Yeah.
We all met up in NUIG and we had a big award ceremony, and that was my first interaction with Gums. And then it all came full circle then when I went to NUIG and I joined the musical society, and I show we did last year. Pippin. Up the there. Pippin.
Pip in, pip out. Yeah.
Pip out. I actually got to play. I got the privilege of playing the lead in that one, which was very surreal because, it was like these people were adults when I was a baby.
Yeah,
in
yeah. It was like going back to first year again, almost like, or second year. Do you know?
My girl with Alan Kelly. And it was just so strange to come in now and to be a part of it. And
yeah.
And yeah, no, it kind of this year we did a show, Half a Sixpence.
Okay.
Very well received. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Nice old traditional one. And we got cut short there with the old COVID. We're going to have our AGM there. Now I think it was around now we were going to have our AGM and elect new officials and elect new positions and all that and do all the business side of things. So that's where Gums is at this year. Now we have our show over us. At least we got that out of the way. I know a lot of societies around the country, including one show I'm in Galway, we've had to reschedule for September because of all this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a tight knit bunch up there. Look, I suggest for any incoming first year. We got an email from NUIG saying first years aren't starting till November.
What?
November.
Oh my god. Sure, when are we going to be going back? We won't be going back for ages, like.
It said that I'm not back till October.
Gee, January, August, September, October. Oh, okay.
So I don't know about ye down south.
Yeah.
Yo. What is it, Limerick?
Limerick, yeah.
But yeah, no, we got an email there saying that we're not back. They're not back till November. God bless them.
That's mad.
But when you come in November, highly recommend joining Gums because
we'll meet you with open arms.
Yeah, exactly. We've lots of hugs.
It's the old Corona has seriously messed things up, man.
Yeah.
Like even for go on.
No, like, it's strange because it hasn't really changed much for me apart from obviously I'm not in college doing exams.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, as I say to all the customers coming into the shop, like they're asking me, oh, how are you getting on? Oh, like, oh, it's business as usual. Like,
yeah.
Don't mind styling. I'm grand. Like,
yeah.
I'm kept busy. But yeah, it is very strange times, like, because my grandparents are living next door to us, like, and we have to go to the shop and
yeah, we're the same here. Yeah,
it's very strange.
You work in a shop. That's just you work in Spare.
Yeah.
Okay, without naming names, give me the funniest thing that has ever happened to you in that shop.
Funniest thing that's ever happened to me in that shop.
Because I know a lot goes on in that shop down there. They're all lovely people. They're all lovely people down there. But it's
lovely people.
Neve is from down there. My girlfriend lives down there, so
yeah,
I hear all the stories. But go on anyway.
Lovely girlie. Funniest story from that shop. I'll get into awful trouble for this.
Just don't name names, and you can say whatever you want.
Geez, I'm a very diligent worker. I don't get up to too much trouble in there. I guess today, I finished work and I walked straight over to the off license and I walked past my boss and I picked up 2 cans. He said, "Are they to help with the essay zone?" And I said, "Oh, sure, didn't Hemingway say, write drunk, edit sober?" If he didn't slap me in the face, like. But I don't have too many. Like, it's fairly uneventful. It's a small town supermarket. Like, not much goes on.
What's music like in Dumore, actually?
Music in Dunmore.
Is there much music in Dunmore?
Between, like, besides myself and yourself, on a Saturday night in Glenn's Bar, There has been a kind of a shall we say a lack of um, happening on the scene
Okay.
in the last while, and like the main thing that I kind of hear, after a gig, like I have the either the pleasure or misfortune of working in the town where I gig, like, so I could be playing Saturday night and then I'd be working Sunday
Sunday
morning,
morning.
and Mary and John will come in and they'll say, "Oh, geez, Owen, you were brilliant last night. You were brilliant." They're hung over the
Yeah.
head off.
Hanging like.
Like, how are you here? You were worse than me. But the main thing that I'd hear from people, like, is, it's great to see people coming in like myself and yourself,
Hmm.
bringing a bit of music back into the town on a Saturday night, like, because like there wouldn't be anything happening in the pubs, like,
Yeah.
otherwise. I know that, like, it's not just myself and yourself. There's a fair few other people. There's a few lads that play in a few of the other pubs around places. There's a few DJ sets that do be
Mm.
going on.
Yeah.
But like no more than Shoom, like there's been a resurgence in the live music,
Mm.
and this COVID crack, I've had to cancel a few
Yeah. I'm the
pre-booked
same.
things. Yeah, no more than yourself.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Was there ever a drama society in Dumore, or like a?
There is a drama society, but there's a drama and a musical society and a choral society.
There's a musical society in Dunmore.
Musical society in Dumore. We did
Oh, there is. Sure, there is. Of course, yeah.
we did Hairspray there about 3 years ago now. 2018. What's that? 2 years ago.
Try to the sound for it.
Yeah, and yeah,
How did I forget that? Like,
and this year they kind of do a show every so often because it's a musical society and the choral society.
Mm.
So the choral side of it is a kind of an ongoing thing. That's an every Sunday kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's always happening. But they do a show every few years. And our last one we did was Hairspray, and this year we did a kind of it was our 25th year anniversary, and we did a showcase called Showtime.
Wunderbar.
And it was just a showcase of, I think they did something like 9 or 10 shows in the last 25 years, and it was just a showcase of all the kind of greatest hits from the future that they've done. And so it was lovely. Like, we did we opened with a few songs from Hairspray, and I tell you, I pulled on the costume, and
Who did you play again?
I was Seaweed J Stubbs.
Seaweed. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With the black man.
Yeah.
And I don't think I will ever I don't think I'll ever play a role miscast like that again. I had the privilege of doing it once, but I don't. My moral compass, my eyes have been opened. I don't think it's. I'm changed. My mind has been changed. I don't think I should be playing characters such as these.
Seaweed J Stubbs. Oh,
not to mind my dancing abilities were not to the standard at the time.
They're okay though. They're all right. They're better than mine. Hairspray is a good show.
It's a great out show.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but it was great crack. I was only a baby doing it. I'm only a baby still.
How old are you now, actually?
I'm 20.
Oh, you're 20. Same as Miss Head.
Yeah. You're only 20. Well, I was only 20 in December. You were 20 in February.
So who's older than you?
Me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm a 99 baby.
Oh yeah, ordinary level maths here, like, you know.
I'm a 99. You're the flake.
You're so funny. This is what happens when we don't plan podcasts. But I kind of prefer it this way.
Yeah.
Like the first one I did with Jamie wasn't planned either.
Yeah.
And it gives you more to talk about and leaves you more time to have the crack. Do you know what I mean? Owen's phone just fell on the floor. In case you're all wondering what I burst my hole laughing at just there.
I'm very sorry. Got excited.
Apology not accepted. Also, the phone keeps jumping. What are you at?
It's on the bed.
Oh, it's like you're. No, I won't say what it's like you're doing.
I'm straddling the thing.
So, right. So so that was, we kind of jumped from secondary school to college to Dunmore, but that's given us a nice background for you. So what's like the biggest production that you've done, or what's
I guess the biggest crack I've been involved in.
Yeah. It's probably the gum stuff, I'd say, is it?
Gum stuff, I guess, yeah. I'm a member of a society in Loughrea by the name of Bravo Musical Society, that's headed up by our good friend Shane Farrell.
Yeah.
And every year there's a national award ceremony called the Ames Awards.
Yes. Yeah.
Association of Irish Musical Societies. They have a big old award ceremony every summer.
Yeah.
And back, is it 2 summers ago now? Bravo had just had a very good year. They had been nominated for loads of stuff, and they're a society of only 5 years. They've only been around 5 years, and the amount of stuff that man has done, I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
And they had a very good year, and so they were asked to perform the kind of opening act for the award ceremony.
Yeah.
Which was a very highbrow event. I remember we went down to rehearse, and there was cameras and there was lights, and then there was there was 2,000 something people there, and it was broadcast all over the country. And we did a medley of it was around the time of The Greatest Showman, and we did a medley of songs from The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
The video of our performance got picked up by the tabloids, and we were viral for 3 seconds.
Class.
Yeah. A lot of my greatest accomplishments are kind of very much so musical.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm kind of blessed in that sense that I've always been in a position where I can jump from one facet of my musical interest to the other.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a show, I kind of focus solely on the show, and if I'm kind of in an off season where I've nothing going on, you'll see me a lot more on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough. But you're still doing something you enjoy doing,
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's like Ronan Lardner said last week. I don't know if you watched that podcast, but he was like, I don't care what you do, just as long as you're happy doing it and you enjoy doing it. And he's right.
That's all you can. That's what you should be living by.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say that one to my mammy now.
Tell mammy that one. Yeah. Tell that one to mammy.
Can I go? Performing arts, please.
Please, thanks. So I want to move on to you as an artist and your musical philosophies for yourself as an artist. Do you know what I mean? What inspires your music, or what, tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. Good question.
Thanks, honey.
Do you do that?
Every episode I try and have one good question. Yeah.
You're popping them off like that.
It's only a good question because you haven't got an answer prepared for it.
Yeah. I guess the kind of approach that I take, I get with kind of musicians, now in this time, image is very important. You know, the kind of face that you show, and that'd probably be through social media more so for us.
Yeah.
You know, like there's an awful emphasis put on social media, like, because that is the main kind of gateway to people and getting our stuff out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I kind of I when I first started like my my broadcasting myself, like kind of, and then having social media as dedicated to solely music, I kind of was I very much so was a shy little boy, and it was like, hi, here's a cover of Chasing Rubies.
Yeah.
Whereas now I kind of I'm a big old weirdo, Oni. I don't know if
You're not that much of a weirdo now. You're
yeah. But if you take a look at my social media, like if you take a look at my Instagram, it's not very run of the mill, like vanilla. Like it's a very I focus a lot on kind of not taking myself seriously. I think that's kind of the the motto or mantra that I'm kind of going by at the moment, is to not take myself seriously. And like, even my Instagram bio is I am a serious musician.
Yeah.
And then everything else around it is absolute tripe. Like my profile picture is a picture of me with Zayn Malik on a blanket behind my face, like, and there's a rating, it's like 10 out of 10, my mom, like, you know, and I announce my live streams from a sit-on lawnmower, like, and you know, like and it's just me screaming at the phone, and I subtitle it, like, and you know, I very much so, I've kind of, I don't think necessarily a switch tripped or anything. I think it was just, this is who I am, and I want that to be the image that is portrayed to me. Like,
yeah,
when I kind of started like being jokey on my social medias and like not being as serious, like, and like I'm still putting up my music, I'm still putting out my music, and it's just the presentation, I guess. It's just I feel that in order to you know, get my stuff across and get through to people, I want to be genuine. I don't want to be just disingenuous, and I feel like my most genuine self is
that the messer, like,
I'm just absolute messer, like.
Yeah.
I literally, like, you try and have a conversation with me, it's very hard to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, like. It is. To be fair, this is the most straight conversation we've had in a long time.
But yeah, I someone said to me recently, are you not worried that, like, in the off chance you have a fucking Shawn Mendes moment and somebody sees your social media and they're like, wow, this kid, wow.
Yeah.
Are you not worried that they'll see it and they'll be like, what?
I was about to ask you that. Yeah.
He's not being serious. Is he not a serious musician?
Yeah.
And so I went and out of spite changed my bio to this musician, because I don't think in order to be a serious musician you need to show a serious front. Like,
not at all.
It's everybody has to find that kind of that niche little approach to approaching people. And that's how I feel I'm going to get myself across best, and who I am as a person, and more so the kind of people that, you know, I'd like to get to know. The social media music page, like, no more than getting myself out there. It's an avenue for meeting people. Like, the amount of people that I've met through just posting stuff and like going busking on Shop Street, and like the amount of people I've met, it's mad, like.
Yeah.
And you know, my social media is kind of allow me to meet like-minded people and allow me to play music with like-minded people, like, you know. So it's that's kind of my philosophy at the moment, Tony.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. Like, do you think it's important for people to be able to not to show themselves, but to be able to just like? Do you think it's important for people to, I suppose, to show themselves properly? Like, you know what I mean? Like that there doesn't need to be this sort of persona associated with being a musician. Like, you don't have to be a really weird artsy person who sits outside and looks at the stars. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But it doesn't, like, everybody has their own market. Everybody has their own personality. Like I have friends that sit outside and look at the stairs.
Yeah.
And have dreadlocks and like whatever, like,
yeah.
You know, I have those music friends, and they're insanely talented people, and they have a following.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's not you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start dreading your hair, only? Like, I don't think I
if
would.
it gets long enough now with this fucking quarantine, I might have to. But
I trim their little sister. She should go into.
She should, yeah.
Barbicide. That's what it's called. But yeah. I'm a firm believer that, you know, be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't think that you have to be serious.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
Or if you're starting out, like this quarantine is a breeding ground for new social medias and people coming out of the woodwork and releasing stuff and putting stuff up, and I think rule one is be yourself, and put a foot forward and let that foot represent you and not an image that you think you should be.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Ronan said that as well last week. I was like, what's the number one thing that annoys you most about artists? Or no, it wasn't. It was like, I asked him to give us a few tips for like artists wanting to get on the radio and stuff, and he was like, he said the most annoying thing that he gets is artists that don't sing with their own voice and they put on this like act. Do you know what I mean? And it's
actor, like.
It's completely what you're saying though. You know what I mean? There's no point being an Irish rapper and putting on an English accent. That's probably not putting down the rapping community, but that's probably the most common example. Like. Or country music and putting on an American accent.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing about my live streams, I've done a few outside. I'm out in the middle of the sticks, like, and a few times my neighbor, who has a bit of land beside me, has driven down the lane and stopped and shouted. You wouldn't hear that in the Midwest, like. Like, good thing I'm not trying to get on Midwest. They wouldn't have me. I don't think sweater weather played on Midwest.
No. So, in terms of your music then and stuff you've written, what has been the most influential factor for you when you're writing your stuff? What influences you most, or what do you find is really helpful to take?
Where do I go? From? Where do I go on my journey? I find that I don't really write from. I like Jamie said it himself in his episode his conversation musicians in cars drinking cans. That'll be your next one.
Oh, believe me, we've planned it.
But yeah, no, Jamie said it in his convo. He writes a lot of his songs not from personal experience, but he's kind of telling stories, and he's he's using themes that kind of relate to people, and you know, and they're themes that kind of people can be like, oh, I was hurt once too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, one of the songs I'm gonna play for you later, like it's a new old one. I started it like 3 years ago, and I finished it there recently. I don't know when. And it's about still being in love with somebody, like, and they don't love you back. I am in a very happy, committed relationship. Like nobody needs to go texting Rachel and being like, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like I tend to write a lot of stories, and I think that goes hand in hand with, like, you know, I'm studying English. Like, that was always my second best subject after music. I tend to write a lot of stories, and they just seem to come easier to me than writing from personal experience. And I think I need to, when I am writing, I need to take that whole not taking myself seriously that I was talking about earlier. I need to take that into my writing. Not to only apply that to my image and whatever. I think I need to apply it to my writing, because I find I struggle to write songs from personal kind of places, and experiences, you know, from the pure fear that somebody will be like, oh, is Owen okay? Or oh, what's that about? Or what's mommy going to think? What's daddy going to think? Like, you know, or what's Mary going to think when she comes into the shop and she's like, what was that one about there, Owen? So, like, I always tend to write, but then I like my first song that I ever wrote, Hide. I've always said that's not about me. Like, it's about so basically Hide is about first verse is like you're helping a person, you are with this person and you're helping them, and the chorus, you've helped them and whatever, like, this person is in dire need of assistance. And then the second verse is, oh shit, that person is now better because I've helped them, but now that they're okay, I realized that while I was giving them all my attention, I realized that I'm actually not okay. And that's what that one's about. And I always maintained that, what? No, that's just a story. Like, but you know, reflection, hindsight is 2020. I can kind of look back on songs that I've written long ago, like, and be like, oh Jesus, yeah. You can kind of see little influences from your own life. It's hard not to let personal influences kind of
intrude.
You know.
Okay. So right, that's your whole view on
my theology.
Your theology. Yes, I like that. That's a nice way of putting it.
We're all just a bunch of theologians.
So, question for you. If you were giving, like, a TED Talk to artists, to these upcoming artists about songwriting, what are the key things that you'd tell them to take note of? Key things that you'd ask them to do from personal experience of knowing, like, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. You know, songwriting, like, I like. I really don't class myself as. I don't think I'll ever class myself as, like, I could be doing this for 20 years, and I don't think after 20 years I'll class myself as knowing anything about this and what this is. When I write my songs, it like, my poor girlfriend Rachel, she'll she has to put up with me disappearing for 4 hours at a time, and then I'll come back and she'll be like, "Where'd you go?" And I'll be like, "I was sitting there trying to think of something to write and I couldn't." And nothing came after 4 hours. But the times that stuff has come to me is when I'm not trying.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's almost as if it's not a formulaic process at all. Like it's very spur of the moment. Like I don't think it's very natural if you sit down and try and just crack one out like
Yeah, so like you to sit
and
down and say, "Oh, I'm going to write in the song now." Like,
yeah, I don't think that's very natural. Like I don't know where I threw it somewhere. I have about 50 notebooks full of just phrases.
yeah.
Like I could be sitting in Boojum having my burrito bowl.
Yeah.
And I'll just pull out the notepad and start writing. And like, it doesn't mean it's about Mexican rice or anything. Like, that's just a time when something pops in my head. Like,
Yeah.
I walk past something or like just write phrases. I'd love to actually, as an experiment, and this could tie into what's my advice for songwriters. I'd love to, as an experiment, just go traveling around. It doesn't even have to be far. Like I'd love to. My plan for this summer was to bus around Ireland and just busk around the place, and I'd love to see how because we're not traveling artists yet, Tony.
No,
We're
not yet. Not yet. Not yet. That's a big yet.
Yeah. So you hear artists and they're like, yeah, I wrote a load on the road. It was really a cathartic kind of time. Like I found that, the traveling and seeing faces and seeing different places really, really assisted in the songwriting process.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, on a smaller scale, try and attempt. That was my plan for this summer anyways, to try and bus around Ireland and see if that helped any songwriting process, because I haven't cracked any code. Like I'm here trying to write songs and I'm finding myself just going back to old songs, and I'm finding it very, very hard to start anything anew. Like,
yeah,
and that doesn't mean I for a lack of material. Like I don't know. I think as well, the quarantine, people are kind of saying, oh, to musicians, like the quarantine is a very it's a very productive time.
Yeah, that's something actually I want to talk about in a second. But go on.
I find that it can be, yeah, I guess, in certain aspects, but I think it might actually be more so a very unnatural scenario, like, because it's like, unless you're Edgar Allan Poe locking yourself in a dark room, right? Like, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you.
Yeah.
But, being stationary in one place and only having, unless you want to write the next quarantine pop. Like, I sent you that 21 Pilots song.
Yeah.
And it's the first song in the quarantine pop genre. It's quarantine. Unless you're gonna be writing good songs about the quarantine. I don't want to hear any bad songs about the quarantine.
Yeah, that's something that I actually wanted to bring up, and I think it was Amanda that said it as well. Jeez, there's a lot of references to other people at this episode, but yeah, she said that this is kind of like a public service announcement. If you're not a creative person, don't be trying to make yourself be extra creative now that you're at home. There's no point. It's not going to work. You're only going to make yourself sad. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might seem like now I'm putting out a lot of stuff and I'm being really creative now because I'm at home, but it's not. Like, this has been in the pipeline for ages. Now is just the optimal time to do it.
Yeah.
But don't be putting
Don't
pressure
force
on yourself to put stuff out there when you don't need to.
blood.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna hurt yourself. Stop.
Yeah, it's true though. And I'm not saying that there is people doing that, but I think there is a sort of kind of
Will you stop doing the live streams? Jesus.
there's sort of like a feeling at the minute where creative people feel they have to be very creative, and they're actually finding this really hard.
Yeah.
You know,
it's very much so. There's a very much so an atmosphere of now is the optimum time or the optimal time to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
And if I'm not doing stuff now, I'm wasting time.
Yeah. And sure, okay, now is a good time for an audience. Hence, the podcast is now. You know what I mean? But that's kind of unrelated. It's just it's a different. I suppose it's kind of a different way of looking at the whole quarantine thing. Whereas, there's an audience now, so now would be the perfect time to put this out. But we'll say I'm hoping that once this is over, that audiences continue to tune into live streams and continue to tune into things, and that it wasn't just a little blip. You know what I mean? I don't want all this to get forgotten. Because this is the way forward. This whole live streaming thing and all this is the way forward. And Ronan said that as well. But it is. And people need to support it. Because not only are they supporting artists, but they're supporting these creative people who have this desire to be creative all the time. And when that's not getting fed with, comments and stuff like comments and compliments and stuff like that. Or not even any sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism or constructive criticism at all. If it's not getting fed with some sort of response, it can be very downgrading almost for those people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that knocks confidence and stuff. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like,
yeah, I get you. I think it'd be rather heartbreaking if when this all ends, all of the habits that we formed, and all of the audiences we've built, and all of the like, if that just ends with the quarantine. Like, even if you look at artists, big artists, like James Bay has started doing guitar lessons online.
I saw that. Yeah,
that's amazing. That, like, why isn't that done more often?
That should have been a thing long before this. Like,
it's such. He is getting, like, he is relating so much to his audience. Like, it's literally the nearest thing to writing a handwritten letter to one of your fans. Like I think artists should constantly be doing this. Like, it's such a good thing, and it's such a healthy thing for growing your audience and for maintaining relationships with your audience.
Yeah, and for younger people, it's all about building confidence. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not even for young people, for the likes of yourself and Jamie and those of you that do live streaming and stuff, like, it's confidence building, and it's almost reassuring because you know that there's people that are going to tune in every time, and you don't want to be thinking to yourself, oh, well, this is all over now, there's no point in doing any of that, because there'll be people who will look forward to that, and if it's not there, well then, you know?
Yeah. But like, even the O'Donnell lads, like, they did the Saw Doctor song, like, and it got received so well, like, and it's got a few thousand hits. Like, it'd be a shame if they decided to do something again in the future and they did the same response. Like, be an awful shame.
Basically,
everybody to just keep up the support, because they like the quarantine, like, you've seen posts about it saying, oh, this is a blessing in disguise, like, obviously discounting the, like, obvious hardships and downsides, but it's also a blessing in disguise as regards humanity and humanitarianism. Thankfully, the majority of the world are showing a lot of humanity, and it'd be an awful shame to lose that once we go back to normality.
Yeah, like, you'd like to think that we come out of it as stronger people, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the reason I'm kind of bringing it up, is because I'd like to think that, venues like pubs and nightclubs or not arenas, but like theaters and community centers and stuff like that would be able to appreciate their local talents more. You know what I mean? Like that maybe they can run events or something, some sort of way that this could continue when we can actually see each other in person. Do you know what I mean? So if the likes of yourself decides to run a gig, that all the people that have watched your live stream will, get up and go to the gig if they if they can't. Do you know what I'm saying? That's basically, if what I'm trying to say is there's no point in tuning into this stuff now and pretending to be a nice active follower if you're not going to do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you're giving yourself a false sense of enjoyment, and you're giving the content creator a false sense of
I'm reaching people.
Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, I completely understand.
I hope the people listening and watching understand that as well. Public service announcement over. Rant over.
Yeah.
Basically, when this is over,
please like us still.
Continue to support people. It's going to be twice as big once this is over as it is now. It's going to mean twice as much to people once this is over as it is now. So, you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm just going to grab my charger on the floor.
I was just about to say, will we take a break?
What would you like to do? This break?
Yeah, we'll take a break and we'll come back for some music then afterwards. How about that?
Found out.
Wonderful. Thanks, Owen. You're listening to the On Studio Sessions podcast, recorded live here in On Studio. Each week, we'll be talking to different artists, engineers, producers, DJs, and any other people in the music industry. Remember, you can always follow us on all social media at On Studio Music to keep up to date with all the latest news. And you can watch the podcast on YouTube or listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you decide to get your podcast fix. For now, though, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of my conversation with this week's guest. How are you? Welcome back to part 2 of my conversation with Eoin Mullins for episode 6. So we're going to have another little chat, and then Eoin is going to play some music for us. Isn't that right, Oni?
No.
Prick. How are you
better
now?
Keep that.
How are you now? How are you after your break?
I'm grand. I stretched the legs, got a bit of fresh air, watered the crops.
Did you? Nice.
Fed the children. Planted the seed.
Strained the spuds.
Wrote a symphony.
Nice.
A bittersweet one.
You're so creative, Owen. Oh my god, is it the quarantine?
No, it's my lack of sleep.
It's your lack of what?
Sleep.
Anyway, welcome back. So,
thank you.
Before we finished part 1, we were having a little rant about creativity, etc., etc. The rant is over. Basically, we're encouraging people to continue supporting artists and all that stuff. So, as an artist yourself,
am I?
Well, we'll pretend you are for this anyway. You've released a song on Spotify, haven't you?
I have 2 songs.
You have 2 on Spotify.
2 on Spotify.
Have you?
Yeah, I have Crying Over Someone and Hide on Spotify. Hide went up first, maybe. I don't know. Can't remember. But Crying Over Someone did insanely well. Like it's and to be fair, more effort and work went into Hide, like, and I'm actually very unhappy with the quality for someone. So it's kind of like it's like it's up on Spotify simply because I was excited. I had just been messing around with laying harmonies over each other. And I was just very excited, and then I sent it away to TuneCore or whatever. Or whatever I use. Can't remember.
Fair enough.
The song since November, like. And I just put it up, and then it's by far my most well liked song, like, and
Yeah.
you know, it got such a good response on Instagram. And to this day, like, it's got a steady, like, I think under 100 is uploaded in November, like, and I'm a nobody, like,
Yeah.
but it's still getting listened. Like, it's nice. It's a very nice feeling, like.
Yeah.
And if you go onto my page, it's like appears on, and then it lists playlists that people have put me into.
Class.
And like, it's just like friends and people I don't know, and it's just such a lovely feeling, like.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, I knew you had stuff. I know you had something released, but I didn't know what exactly it was. So that's why I asked that question. So people can find you on Spotify at just Eoin Mullins, is it?
Eoin Mullins music. Eoin Mullins.
I think, are you the Eoin? You're not the Eoin.
Just look up Eoin, and whoever comes up first, Eoin Media or Eoin Mullins, listen to the first.
You see, I have stuff on Spotify, released on Spotify, but it's dance music.
Yes, you do. I'm big fan of Witted and Michaela, and what else is there?
What are you doing?
I like Witted.
Oh yeah, it's a cool tune.
Yeah.
It's like what I was getting at was, it takes so much longer for that music to grow an audience than it does music with words, like. You know, but
because any old fool can sit there with the guitar and write a sad song, like, and get a few OMG Oni, like, you know, it's easy to get that.
Yeah,
it's hard to say it, but it's easy to get it.
Yeah, so that's kind of it's interesting to see how different music like that works and is received. You know what I mean? Anyhow,
I think the college. Sorry, I think the college. College network, or the college whatever, is a good place for you to be doing that kind of music, because that's the place where it would be accepted more, kind of would be received.
That's where it's more popular as well, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you're going to play a few tunes.
I am.
Deadly. You're playing guitar, yeah?
I am playing guitar.
Lovely stuff. Sure, grab the guitar there and we'll come back after.
I will, of course.
Okay. So, this first song is a new one. It's called Here Again.
Lovely.
An on Stiúideo exclusive.
Lovely stuff.
I forget why I got nervous when I saw you standing there. My knees go weak and my hands start shaking. You think I'd be used to you by now, but you know me. Yeah, I'm a fool, and I can't explain the things that I do. When I saw you there, oh, nothing can compare to when I get to see you smiling back at me. And so I'll hold you tight, 'cause I know that you are mine. And I can't wait to meet you here again. Have you thought about me lately? 'Cause I often think of you. Oh, you took my heart and you left me none of yours. Oh, what an awful thing to do. But you know me. Oh yeah, I'm a fool. Well, you moved on and I still love you. When I saw you there, oh, nothing can compare to when I got to see you smiling back at me. Now I can't hold you tight, 'cause I know that you aren't mine. Or maybe I might meet you here again. Oh, maybe I might meet you here again. No, 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 no. I can't wait to meet you here again. Woo! So that was Here Again. That's a new one. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was lovely. What's next?
So this next one is up on my Spotify. I think it's one of my more liked ones. I hope people like it. It's called Crying Over Someone. Stop your tears, they're falling too easily. Save your breath, why waste it on somebody else? Even though the pain is fresh, I know that you will be okay. Take the feeling deep inside, give it to me, I'll take it away. 'Cause you're crying over someone who never even loved you. 'Cause you're crying over someone who never even loved you. Take the feeling deep inside, give it to me, I'll take it away. 'Cause you're crying over someone who never even loved you. Stop your tears, they're falling too easily. Save your breath, why waste it on somebody else? Even though the pain is fresh, I know that you will be okay. Take the feeling deep inside, give it to me, I'll take it away. 'Cause you're crying over someone who never even loved you. crying over someone who take the feeling deep inside, give it to me, I'll take it away. Crying over someone who never even loved you. Crying over someone, crying over someone. Crying over someone, crying over someone. Stop your tears, they're falling too easily. 'Cause you're crying over someone who never even loved you. Crying over someone who never even loved you. Take the feeling deep inside, give it to me, I'll take it away. I'm crying over someone who never even loved you. Stop your tears, they're falling too easily. Woo! These are very chilled out versions of these songs. So that was Crying Over Someone. I hope you enjoyed. Jesus, all these songs are very high. Oh my God. This one is my oldest song. It's probably one that I'm proudest of. Just, I don't know, it kind of has taken shape and formed something different than what it was when I first wrote it. Yeah. I hope you enjoy. It's called Hide. Is this night by the water? Closer you pull me next to you. Strange things can happen here, my darling. Strange things can happen here for you. Da, da, da. Watch up above, birds are singing. They seem to know just what we do. Fear, please don't fear, the night is over. I'll hold your hand, this morning's colder. Black, black, don't take me back. I'll run around this crazy town. Eyes are wide, there's pain inside. I'll help you find a place to hide. Black, black, don't take me back. I'll run around this crazy town. Eyes are wide, they're spinning inside. Help me find a place to hide. Long are the days I'm without you. Street lights, they flicker when I'm alone. Nah, how can I fight when I'm not with you? No, how can I do this on my own? No, 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 black, black, don't take me back. I'll run around this crazy town. Eyes are wide, they're spinning inside. I'll help you find a place to hide. Black, black, don't take me back. I'll run around this crazy town. Eyes are wide, they're spinning inside. I'll help you find a place to hide. A place to hide. Place to hide. Nah, nah, nah. Ah, da, 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 da. A place to hide. Woo! That was Hyde. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed.
That was lovely.
Thanks very much, Johnny.
So you played 3 songs there.
I did. My hand is very sort like in 2 of those songs I play a lot of. So in the first one there, I the chords are weird. It's literally just C D G. But what I do is I play the C and then I go down to it slide down.
Yeah.
And then I play the bar chord G. And you know, it gets me there in like the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
Like it's very, I don't know.
Oh dear. This has been a funny episode. So the first song you played was your new song.
Yeah.
The unreleased one.
An unreleased one. You're getting an owl exclusive.
Nice. So tell me a bit about that. It's called Hear It Again.
Here Again, yeah.
What's that about? Or...
So Here Again, I thought of that name 4 minutes before I came on here. Here Again, I started about 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Really?
3, I'd say now. And I was just always messing around with that, going from the C, dropping down to the whatever D, whatever something.
Yeah.
And I just really liked that progression. And so I just constantly, like my idea of writing a song and trying to sit down and write a song is sitting there and just like, you come into my room and I'm just staring at space, playing the same chords.
Yeah.
Like a madman trying to wait for something to come, never comes. And then I get fed up and just go and play Xbox or something. But yeah, no, Here Again, I started that a good while ago at a time. I can't really remember. It was around leaving cert time, I think. I was a big boy. Again, I think I was writing. I think it was a love song. I started a love song and I never finished it. And so the first verse is the start of a love song.
Yeah.
And then you know, I was talking to you about the story and telling stories and writing stories rather than from experience. I came back to it recently and I was like, oh, this hasn't aged well. uh, and so the first verse kind of lost its meaning for me. So I decided to kind of mold a story around it.
Yeah.
And so the first verse, I kind of like to do. I kind like I don't know. I'm that kind of a writer. I'm always searching for that kind of story that makes a person go, I see what he did. Okay. So the first verse is kind of like a love kind of. I forget why I got nervous when I saw you standing there. And it's like this I'm kind of like, oh, I'm like, it's my first time seeing you, and I'm all nervous and whatever.
Yeah.
And the kind of hook in the chorus, it ends with I can't wait to meet you here again. And that's where the title comes from.
Yeah.
It was originally going to be called something like Cathedral Car Park or Church Car Park or something. because the little gate between the Mercy and
Oh yes, it's a hotspot.
It's a hotspot for young lovers.
Believe me, it's a hot spot.
Hot spot.
Yes. Paris Pardon now.
It's and so that was the place. That was here. That was where I'd like to meet you again. That was where I met you the first time. That's where I'd like to meet you again. And then the second verse goes into oh no, you've left me. Oh, sad. Obviously that hasn't happened. I'm happily married with 4 kids.
Yeah.
And so I just molded a story like first. I like to do that. I like to do first verse, one emotion, second verse, another emotion. I've done that quite a bit in my songs. Like, but yeah, and then the chorus. Then I do that quite a lot as well. I changed the chorus, kind of tense.
Okay.
So it's like when I saw you there, oh, nothing can compare to when I got to see you.
Okay.
Smile back at me. I won't hold you tight because I know that you aren't mine.
Jeez, your college reports must be very interesting.
Yeah.
Write this
Like,
in the third person. Okay.
He's beating around the bush now.
No, it's cool. It's a cool song. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
It'll be nice to get a release now and get it recorded and stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to get in there into you. I know we were hoping to do this live. We were hoping to.
I know. Sure.
Not be in quarantine.
Yeah, but we will eventually get it sorted.
Yeah.
Owen is the newest artist to join the On Stiúideo umbrella of artists. And we haven't even got a chance to work with each other properly because it happened so close to the quarantine, but it will happen. It will happen at some point.
Yeah. I was hoping to release a kind of an EP or a small LP.
Yeah, an LP.
LP.
Yeah.
in the spring. But sure, look at us now. Yeah. 4 months. And I'd been in talks with the Roisin Dove to have kind of a launch party upstairs in the Roisin and release the album up there, and no doubt I would have had yourself if not doing the tech up there with me, playing along, drumming something, but yeah, no, that's all.
Yeah, but it'll happen. After Christmas, we'll get back into it, or before Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next song that you played was one of the ones that's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Crying over someone.
Yeah.
Who are you crying over, and why are you crying over them?
Crying over someone. I talked a little bit about crying over someone earlier, and I talked about my annoyance over it. And how you
wanted to re-record this, didn't you?
I wanted to re-record this, and I also wanted to write better lyrics. Because I did a Mr. Brightside on it, and I just repeated the lyrics for because when I wrote it, I was like, I'll come back to this. But then I went and uploaded it because I was like, oh, it sounds pretty.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, look, I have nothing meaningful else to put into this. We'll put it up and see what happens. And it people liked it.
Wonderful.
And yeah, it annoys me. It annoys me for the fact that there's guitars out of sync. There's my voice isn't great on it. There's bad lyrics. There's everything.
It was that pure thing of like, oh my god, I'm gonna put a song up on Spotify.
Yeah.
It was that pure thing.
You've definitely had that excitement. Oh, I've got this new toy.
Man, my whole first EP was all recorded and made in about 3 weeks. And I said, fuck this, it's going up for the laugh. That's the only reason. I literally just made it and said, I'm putting this up. So I'm actually going remixing all that and redoing it. But yeah.
But that, like, we're in a position where, we have an owl microphone. We have a laptop. We have...
Might as well do it, like.
Might as well do it, like. And there's no waiting around, like. There's no humming and hawing.
Yeah. Like,
so... there's less pressure on getting it perfect.
Yeah.
It's at our fingertips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, crying over someone. I do like it. It's a hard one to sing as well.
Yeah.
It's a singing thing. It's the you. Crying over someone who never loved you.
Yeah, I get you.
You have to be careful not to sound like a wally.
I was never much into singing, and I never will be, so I don't need to worry about that. But
Mr. Bass, bass instrument, bass voice. You do a mean. Do you remember your what's her name? Mayhem. Do. What's her name? Imelda May. Remember your days.
Oh, what a tune. Anyway, moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
No, I like Crying Over Someone. It's a nice song. I really like it. But,
thank you.
Definitely your remix would make it even better.
Thanks so much, Sean.
No, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Breathing your life into it. The harmonies are really cool.
Yeah,
I love the harmonies in that. Now, obviously, you didn't perform the harmonies there, but in the recording that's on Spotify, you can hear them, and they're really, really good. I like them a lot.
Thank you. I can't remember for the life what they are, but...
Well, I'm not going to attempt to sing them, but if you want to hear them, you can go and listen to them on Owen's Spotify.
Owen possibly music.
And the last one then is Hide. This is my favourite song.
Yeah?
Of yours that I've heard. Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, it's got a kind of a hosiery kind of vibe to it. I think, anyway, I don't know, but it's just really cool. The chords in it are really nice. It's a really nice key. It's really cool. So tell me about it. Indulge me. Enlighten me.
Hide, I started back in school, and I'm gonna pick up the guitar for a sec.
Okay.
Not to knock down the house. Oh, because this song has just transformed, and it's taken so many different shapes. It started off like you probably remember in Connie's class. Me, Jesus Christ, me plucking along like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the version that I had out for ages online, and it was grand. I didn't mind it. I just thought, you know, when I recorded it, I wasn't very good at plucking, and it didn't sound great to my ear. But nothing I ever do sounds great to my ear. It's my
That's
my
just the way we are, man. We're all like that.
But yeah, so after I did Crying Over Someone, I was like, right, I'll redo Hide, because I'm finding it very hard to write new stuff.
Yeah.
And so I took a look at it, and I it's up on Spotify as well. The new version starts off with like kind of a it's got a nice beat and then a creepy kind of ooze. Possibly a kind of a work song, kind of hosiery vibe.
Yeah.
That's where you're getting it. And I put in a more kind of a slap strumming kind of method of playing it.
Okay.
It's just a more lively version and more filled out, and it's got a few layered guitars in it and a bit of bass. I think I remember talking to you about it when I was first doing it, and your first reaction to it was, Jesus, it sounds like Chris Isaak.
Yeah, wicked game. Yeah.
The games.
Yeah.
To which I said, no. No, it doesn't. But yeah, I get what you meant by the whole like do.
Yeah. I think that's yeah. Go on.
But like, I think the nicest chord in it is the CAD 9, and then it doesn't go where you expect it to go. It's like A minor, CAD 9, G, and then it goes to F.
Yeah, but it works. Like
you'd expect it to go to like D or something, or I don't know, or I don't know.
But that is definitely my favorite song of yours. 100%.
Thanks so much. I used to hate playing it, because it was always the one I get asked to play at like family functions and stuff.
Hey, hi. Yeah.
Hey, hi. My uncle Carl, my biggest fan, he always requests that song, but he refuses to call it Hide. He's like, play Black Back.
Oh, that was like when I was DJing before the lockdown. Anytime anybody would come up and ask for Shotgun, especially the buffers, as we know them, the farmers and country people, they'd be like, have you got that one, what is it, Riding Shotgun? Have you got that one, Riding Shotgun? And I'm like, yeah.
It's always doing verb. It's always a doing verb. It's hitting the diff. Hit the diff. Shotgun.
Yeah. I think you said earlier how I was like how I told you your song sounded like Wicked Game. I think that's like the one thing that artists hate, is being told that their song sounds like another song.
I just had little snotty nose 15-year-old only Nelia coming up to me in music class saying, that sounds like Wicked Game.
But the thing is, it's
compliment well, because it's a good song. It's a very good song. Thank you.
But it spurs another kind of level of creativity where it's like, oh, I have to try and make it sound even more unique now and sound nothing like something else.
And that's what I did. I took that criticism that Eoin Mullins gave me 5 years ago. 8 years ago now. What? 2015. 5 years ago. What am I talking about? 5 or 6 years ago, I took that criticism Eoin Mullins gave me, and I went and I wrote a new version of Hyde.
See, there you go.
There you go. It spurred me on.
Yeah,
I held on to it. I let it stew.
I'm telling you, words of wisdom here from the On Studio Sessions podcast. Actually, now that I have you, before I move on, all of those were absolutely class.
Thank you so much.
You're a seriously talented young fella.
That's stuff.
In terms of songwriting and stuff and chord structures, they're really cool. The way you put your chords together and stuff just works really nicely.
Thank you. I tend to my chord progressions for some reason always tend to either start with an A minor or end on a cliffhanger, like oh.
Yeah.
It's like what do you do? That's not an ending. No, that's not a fifth.
It's like the ... at the end of a story, and you're just waiting.
Yeah. It's an unanswered question.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely unrelated, right? I'm trying to think of ways that I can get the audience more interactive with the podcast. Any ideas?
Well, I think it. You said in your live stream the last day or yesterday or whenever it was when you announced that it was this ScoMe. You said that you were going to start posting them on Facebook instead of YouTube.
Yeah.
I find with posting my music that it gets so much more traction if I post it on Facebook straight, video straight onto Facebook rather than sharing a link to a YouTube video, because people, God bless them. God bless us all. They don't like clicking links.
No, they don't, actually. People are lazy.
Well, it's not that they're lazy. I'm lazy. I don't click links.
Yeah, no, it's because
like,
it's...
One day I posted a new live stream. Ugh.
Yeah, I probably am going to start doing that, but the thing is, I'm worried about then is if I start doing that, will the count go down on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it will.
So it's
Like,
it's kind of finding that balance, like...
I stopped posting my videos on YouTube because there's no point, because it if I get 5,000 views on Facebook, I'm getting 50 on YouTube. Like.
Yeah. See, the videos are doing really well on YouTube, like.
Yeah, are they?
So it's an interesting one that I'm going to have to look at, but definitely going to start putting them up on Facebook as well. Yeah.
If you look at the YouTube men and the YouTube women, they do stream highlights, so they take the best bits, but that's just putting more work on you to try and find the funniest bits.
Yeah, that's another idea I had, is like take snippets from the... If I was to even upload the podcast to YouTube, would take snippets and put them on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
You know, that would be funny.
That'd be good. As regards audience participation.
Yeah, I was thinking just like have...
like a Hot Wings style scenario.
I was thinking to have like some sort of live chat going during the as we record the podcast, so people can come in and ask questions and stuff.
Stream onto Twitch or something. Stream onto YouTube.
I'm planning a live podcast. I don't know who the guest is going to be, but
you should have a few people on at once. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever see like Conan O'Brien? He has like a round table.
Yeah, Ronan Lardner told me that as well. It would be cool to have like a load of people on. So I might actually do that next week. Maybe just have everybody on that has been on so far.
Yeah, we can finally meet each other.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one actually.
Who's this Jamie McIntyre? I'd love to meet him.
Do it on Zoom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, some interesting things there, Ronnie. Anyhow,
I gave you nothing but what was already in your head.
Yeah, but at least you're confirming that the thoughts are good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little angel told
you. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything that I should know about that I didn't bring up, or that I should have talked about that I didn't bring up?
I got a new toy.
You got a new toy?
I got a new toy while I was preparing myself, making myself beautiful for you, a note was slipped under my door saying, "Your keyboard came. It's outside the door," because they didn't want to disturb me. But basically, what I got is a little mini MIDI keyboard.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which I'm hoping to mess around with, because I recently see I'm constantly at Owen, asking him questions about what stuff he uses, and then when I find out that the software he uses costs 300 quid, he then informs me, "Don't worry, Owen, there's a free version."
Yes, there's a free version,
and that's the one that I use. And this is a business for you. I'm just messing around, like. I've started using some software, some better software, and I no more than yourself. I want to expand my horizons. You're doing about 50 things at once, so I'd love to. You know, I'm not a drummer. I have a cajon there, but like I can play that. I can't play piano. I can't play anything like that. So like I'd love to. The software, like the software is insane. Yeah. on these programs.
Yeah,
you can literally have any instrument, any sound, any instrument, and you can put it onto this, and you can tap it, like, and you can pretend you're able to play the bass.
Yeah, I would definitely, any artist that is listening, or anybody that has listened or is going to be listening or whatever, definitely invest in a MIDI keyboard like that one. Or a big one. If you play piano, get a big one that can plug into your computer, because it's so handy to be able to record in piano parts, or even if you don't play piano, you can put any instrument onto that thing and play it.
Yeah.
So it's handy for songwriting and recording stuff yourself. So definitely get one. They're cheap as well.
Yeah. I think I splashed out because I wanted to impress Owen. But yeah, no, that I was waiting about like 9 days for that.
Where'd you get it?
Thoman. I love Thoman.
Thoman, yeah. I get all my stuff on Gear for Music, but Thoman are good. Thoman are class.
I love Thoman.
The only reason I go Gear for Music is because they're in the UK, so it's just quicker.
You like to be different, Owen. You like to be all.
They're quicker because I'm impatient.
Yeah, I get you.
Deadly. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk to you about. Anything else I want to talk about, other than thanks for coming on.
Thanks a million for having me, Oni.
Not at all. That was
we knocked an hour out, anyways.
We more,
yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks a million for coming on.
I hope that I brought you thrills, chills, spills, a few laughs, a few gaffes.
You brought everything. It was class. Thanks a million, Owen.
Thanks for having me. I hope I see you again soon.
Hopefully,
I miss
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss you too. It's weird. It's so weird. You don't realize how much you miss people until you're actually away from them.
The way you caress me.
But even like people that you haven't talked to in ages.
Yeah.
You suddenly start missing them, like, you know.
That's my favorite kind of relationship with people. Like, if I can talk to you on a Sunday and not talk to you again until March.
Yeah. It's still
the same. That's the bed. That's that means I've great growth for you, like.
Yeah. It's a weird one. Anyway, hopefully I will see you in person in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or sometime soon.
They're announcing on Friday it's an extra 2 weeks, I think.
Are they? Are you serious?
Yeah. They're just going to keep adding on 2 weeks at a time, like,
until people cop on.
Yeah.
Cop on, people.
Cop on, peeps.
All you sex. Stay at home, stay safe, wash your hands. Be kind to one another.
Work on your tan.
Like me. I don't get my tan from sitting outside. I'm in the studio all day, every day.
Hot box them.
Right.
hot box.
It's roasting in here. I don't want to lift up my arms because I just know there's going to be a big massive sweat patch in under my sleeve. Anyway, Eoin, once again, thanks a million for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Oni.
It was lovely to talk to you, and sure, we'll talk to you soon.
You're an absolute gentleman.
As are you.
I love you.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Stay there now a minute, don't go.
Okay.
So there we have it, Mr. Eoin Mullins. Episode 6 done and or is this episode 6? Episode 6 done and dusted.
Episode.
Thanks. Oh, you're still there. Are you not gone?
How do I do this thing? What?
Wait there for a second. Episode 6 done and dusted. Eoin is a great laugh. He's a great crack. It's very hard to keep a straight, normal conversation with Eoin because he's always jumping from topic to topic. But we managed to get about an hour and a half out of it. So as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell everybody, and stay safe and wash your hands and stay at home. Be good. Good luck.